Assalamu alaikum. So this is the last lecture of this course, and we are going to do the Excel exercises. So let's start with the drawing a scatter plot. Here is the data given. These are the teams from A1 to A31. So total 30 number of observations are given. Payroll is the variable, or you can say the dependent variable, and wins is X or independent variable. So let's start with drawing a scatter plot. Click on Insert tab, and here we have the option for scatter plot. So I would like to draw a trend line on this data. For more option, we will go to the more option and check the display equation on chart and display R-squared value. So this is the best fitted line for this data. Here is the regression equation and R-square. R-square is basically tells us or measures the strength of these two variables, and this equation is basically showing the intercept and the slope of this line. This is the slope of the line and this is the intercept. The slope of the line is indicate that the 1 unit change in independent variable will cause a 0.1674 unit change in dependent variable. So this is the visualization of scatter plot and a best fitted line. This is the best fitted equation. So I want to add it the title of the chart. So here is wins versus payrolls. So I want to access also access titles. So on x-axis, we have wins data. On y-axis, we have payrolls. So this is the visual of the scatter plot and regression line. Now let's move on towards the contingency table and summary statistics. So now we are going to start draw the contingency table. Column A is showing the code for age. Category which includes 1 for less than 30, 2 for 30 to 60, and 3 for more than 60. Gender, 1 from male and 2 for female. Second, these are basically time consumed on ATM for money withdrawal. So we are going to draw a contingency table, which is the combination of categories. So here is the pivot table. So we are going to start the selection of data, starting from 1 to C51. So we have total of 50 observations. I want to existing worksheet, output location. Okay. So now I want to have a age category into row and gender into column and gender into values. I want to see the combinations of based on gender. So I'm going to value feed settings because I don't want to take sum of genders, but I want to count the gender. So I'm selecting count option here. Okay, so this is the output for contingency table. So we can change the column labels. So here it's going to be gender. This is the age category. Sorry, it's not going to paste over here. So let me age category. So this is the contingency table for this particular data. So we are going to draw a graph on the base of average time. So we need to draw a contingency table for that purpose as well. So let's insert another pivot table. So we are going to select the range from here. And existing location. So now we are going to add the age category into row, seconds into value, and gender into column. So here I want to take average of these values, and this is the average second each age category is using ATM machine. So you need to gender added these labels based on their names. So we can draw a chart on the basis of this data. Age category and gender. So we are going to select the age category and gender data and insert a bar chart. So you can see that average second usage of these values, and blue is showing the gender and red line is showing the age category. So this is the pivot table for this data and its graphical visualization. So let's move on to the next exercise, which is relevant to the calculation of descriptive statistics. So now we are going to use the same data set and start with the descriptive statistics. Let's go on the data tab. And here we have the data analysis. Now we are going to select descriptive statistics here and OK. So input range, select the input range, which is starting from here to here. So let me reselect it because we are not going to take the whole range. We are only going to select a seconds variable, and then we will see its descriptive statistics. Labels in a first row. So let me, yes, I have selected the first row. So the label is also included here. Output range. So the output range will be this. And so you can select the kth smallest and largest and confidence interval, level of mean, summary statistics. So we are going to select this summary statistics. And then click on OK. So you can see that here we have the seconds data and its descriptives. So this is the mean of this data. So you can know these things. We already discuss all these concepts various times. So this is mean, a measure of central tendency, median and mode as well. So these standard deviation, variance. So these are the measures of dispersion. Then kurtosis and skewness, height and the width of normal distribution, range, minimum and the maximum value, sum of this series, and count. It means that number of observation, which is 50. So this is the descriptive statistic of this data. So I hope you guys will understand now that why we need to study the theory, because if you don't know the concept, you are not able to use the software efficiently, because it has it calculates the value in a one go, but you know what is the basic meaning of this particular uh, terminology. So I hope that you remember these concepts we learned in before first sessional. So, and we use these concepts till now, because mean, average, standard error, standard deviation, variance, all these things are repetitive, and we use their applications in different scenarios. So this is the descriptive statistics. So now we have the data here, and I'm going to use the command function for this data, and I'm going to find out the average, which is mean. So I'm going to select the data and enter. So I got the mean of this data, and then I want to find the standard deviation. So you can use a command or click, whatever option you prefer. So this is the mean and standard deviation of the data. Okay, now let's draw a box plot by using this data. And this is the housing start data. Let's select the data. This data have 50 observations. Click on Insert tab. Here we have chart options. Click on this small arrow and access the all charts. Here is the box whisker. Okay, so we got the output here. So I'd like to add the chart title, which is H starts. Housing starts. So I'd like to add the data labels as well, because I want to interpret those data labels. So I'd like to start with the outliers. So these are the outliers of the data from 143 to 271. 271 is the largest value of this data, and 1.2 is the smallest value of the data. 6.8 is basically a quartile 1. 18.3 is middle value, or you can say the median value, and Q2, quartile 2. This is the third quartile value, 38.8. So we can find out the interquartile range as well. Q3 minus Q1, so it will going to be 32. So this is the box plot. for housing starts data. And our lecture is end here. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum.